Hey, welcome to today's video. I'm Rick Chapo at DMCA So today we're taking a look at checklists for starting a business using the DMCA. Uh, so what is the DMCA? Well, the DMCA is the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. It is a federal law in the United States. It applies in all the U.S. states and deals with a number of copyright issues online. Now, if you're starting a business these days, you're almost always going to need a website or an app. And at that point, you have to start worrying about copyright infringement. Specifically, when people come to your site, are they going to post something that infringes on the copyright of somebody else? So copyright is simply the right to create a work and then control it. So if Stephen King writes a new novel, when he finishes that, he's automatically vested with copyright. And so he has the right literally to make copies of the book and sell them. And so the same concept applies to anything that's kind of a fixed work that has some kind of creativity to it. So photographs, software code, graphics, music, videos, whatever. The person who creates those typically is vested with the copyright in them. And if one of your users goes out and finds a photo on another site and then they load it to your site, the question then becomes, can you be held liable for copyright infringement? And the answer is yes, unless you comply with the DMCA. So the DMCA provides website owners and app owners with a safe harbor. And what this means is it's just a area of immunity. And it says that if one of your users uploads content to your website or an app that constitutes copyright infringement against a third party, you cannot be held liable for it. So let's use an example. We have Facebook. Let's say I have my page on Facebook. I go out and I see a video of a sporting event, which I think is great, and I copy it and I post it to my Facebook page. Okay, and in no way did I get permission to do that. Okay, and so I've committed copyright infringement. Can Facebook be held liable for that? And the answer is no, so long as they comply with the DMCA. We'll talk about compliance in a second. So if you're starting a website or an app, you want to make sure that you also get this protection. And the good news is it's not particularly difficult. So the compliance process, I'll post a link below detailing where you can go to see, an actual outlay and checklist for the compliance process. It sounds more difficult than it is. Once you've done it once or twice, it'll be no problem. So don't get intimidated by this. The basic idea is the DMCA is going to give you immunity, but they also want you to help the parties try and resolve their situation through an informal process. And this is called the DMCA compliance process. And the first step is you're going to need to designate an agent to receive copyright complaints. This agent's information, name, address, phone number, email address will be listed on your website or app and in a public database online that's maintained by the Copyright Office. So you can be your own agent. No problem at all. There's no prohibition against that. A lot of people really don't want to go that direction, and the reason is usually they don't want their name and their phone number and their email address out there. So you can use a third-party agent service. We offer one, dmcaagentservice.com. We charge $70 a year to act as the agent, and so our information appears instead of yours. But it's your choice. You can go either way and be fine. So you have your agent. You publish your information on your website and app and in the Copyright Office database. And then if a copyright owner has a complaint, they're going to send it to your agent. And the complaint comes in a form. It's a template form. It's called a Dmca Takedown notice. And the notice comes in and you review the notice, but you don't judge whether the content in question is infringing or not. That is not your responsibility. You're not a lawyer. You're not a judge. Your responsibility under the DMCA is simply to take the content down. Not delete it, just remove it from public view. And most sites are going to have this functionality in the back end. And then at that point, you send an email to the person who posted it saying, hey, we received this DMCA takedown notice, this copyright complaint. See it attached, and we've removed the content. And then at that point, that person has the right to either file a counter notice or just to drop it. Now, in 95% of the cases, you're never going to hear back from that person because most people don't know that they're know what copyright is, much less that they've infringed on it. They just, grabbed a photo from somewhere and reposted it because they thought it was, interesting. And so they're probably panicking when they get your email. And that is the end of it. The copyright owner is happy because their content has been taken down, and everything is resolved. Now, after a month or so, you can go ahead and delete the image. But what if they do file a counter notice? Let's say the person says, no, I absolutely have the right to use this content, and so on and so forth. Well, at that point, again, you do not judge the situation. You are not a judge. You are not a lawyer. You just pass that message along to the copyright holder with the posting party's personal information. You filed a copyright notice with a takedown notice with us 5 days ago. We have received a counter notice to your claim. Please see it attached, and that's it. Now what happens next is the copyright holder has to decide whether they're going to sue the posting party in federal court for copyright infringement. Basically, the bluff has been called at this point. Now, again, you're not a party to that as the website or app owner, because the Dmca is going to give you immunity. What if nothing happens? What if the lawsuit's not filed? Well, then after 10 days, technically between 10 and 14 days later, you republish the post or the content, whatever it is that's in question. And it goes back up on the site, and everybody moves along with their lives. Now, again, that might sound a little complicated. It's not. Once you do it once or twice, it's a breeze. Dmca takedown notices are very common online, and the processing is very common, and there are almost no lawsuits over the Dmca because it's all just very simple, and everybody gets used to how to do it, and everybody's kind of accepted this is the way it's going to be. Now, the good news is the Dmca protection is inexpensive. If you're going to act as your own agent, the only cost really is the filing fee with the Copyright Office when you register yourself. That's $6. If you use a third party like ourselves, we charge $70 a year to act as your agent, and we include the $6 because we're nice people. So either way, you're looking at $6 or $7 or $70, however you want to go about it. But you definitely want to take this step if you're allowing your visitors to post anything to your website or app, because you're getting immunity from these claims, and that's obviously a glorious thing. Otherwise, if you don't take that step and you get sued, you end up looking like our little ship here off to the right. And we do get calls frequently from people who are saying, I received a copyright infringement lawsuit or notice that somebody's going to sue me. What is this Dmca thing? And at that point, it's too late. So you want to do this at the outset of your business so you are safe. And once the Dmca agent is filed, everything is set up, you should be good to go until you cancel it. So it's definitely a protection you want to take advantage of. So if you have any questions or comments, post them below, or feel free to contact us at dmcaagentservice.com. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Have a good day.